Homemade banana pudding is one of those things that once you make it homemade, you'll never go back to using pre-made ingredients. So we're going to show you the super easy way to make it. For this, you'll need about 5 bananas, a box of vanilla wafers, 4 cups of whole milk, a cup and a half of sugar, 6 tablespoons of cornstarch, 4 teaspoons of really good vanilla, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 cups of heavy cream, another half cup of sugar, and another 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So to start out with, we're going to make the pudding itself. And this is not banana flavored, it's literally just vanilla pudding. So you're going to take all of your milk and add it into a saucepan and turn it to medium. You never want to cook milk on anything higher than a medium because you don't want it to be burned. And then you're going to add about 3/4 of your sugar to the milk. And this doesn't have to be exact. And then you're going to whisk it real quick just to make sure that that sugar doesn't stick on the bottom. Then you're going to add the rest of your sugar and all of your cornstarch into another bowl. And you want to have some room in this bowl because we're going to be adding some other things to it. You want to mix this together thoroughly, and this is a very, very important step that you don't want to miss because this is going to get that sugar in between those starch granules. If you don't do this properly, your starch is going to clump up once you do the later steps. So this is just going to prevent your starch from making clumps in your pudding. Then you're going to add your egg yolks to the cornstarch and sugar mixture, and you want to mix this in until it gets completely combined as well. And by doing this after you've mixed up the other part, you're going to ensure that you don't have any lumps in your final product, but make sure that that is completely combined. As you are doing this, you're heating your milk and sugar mixture until you get between 150 and 160 degrees. But if you don't have a thermometer, you just want it to get slightly steamy. You'll start to see a few little tendrils coming up. Once the milk has reached temperature, you're just going to go into that milk and grab a few ladlefuls of that milk and add it into the egg mixture slowly while you're whisking. And this is going to be getting that used to the temperature so your eggs don't scramble. If you don't want your bowl to move while this is happening, take a damp dishcloth, fold it up, and put it underneath your bowl. And your bowl will stay still while you are whisking so you don't have to have another person helping you out with this. This process is called tempering. And so it gets the eggs kind of heated up a little bit, and then you are going to whisk that tempered egg back into the remaining hot milk, and that way your eggs are not going to scramble. You're going to continue whisking and stirring this on medium heat. You do want to stay with this so that it doesn't stick and it doesn't burn until it gets thickened. And you have to be patient with this. Don't turn your heat up or rush it. Milk, when it sticks, gets very, very gross. So it takes about 7 minutes at least. And then you're going to remove that from the heat once it gets thick and add in your butter and your vanilla and whisk it in. And it's not going to be as thick as finished pudding because it's going to thicken up as it sits. Then you're going to find a bowl that your saucepan is going to fit in, and my KitchenAid bowl works well for this, and fill it about halfway up with ice. And as you can see, the pan is going to fit nicely in that. And then you're going to add water in so that we're going to put this into an ice bath to get it cooled off. You don't want it to overflow, but we're going to get the pudding cooled down to about 40 degrees. And this is just so that we can go ahead and make this. You can add it into the fridge and just let it sit until it gets to be about 40 degrees, but this is a way to get it cooled down a lot faster. And now we have a word from our sponsors. Wait, we're looking for those still, so please, while you're sitting here, just hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and you can keep seeing our videos. So now we are going to be making our homemade whipped cream for this. We're going to add a little bit of vanilla and your second batch of sugar, and we are just whipping this up with a hand mixer until it's light and fluffy. A hand mixer does work better for this than a KitchenAid because you can get into all those corners and kind of chase it down. You're going to know when this is done when it holds its shape. You're going to see some little ripples in the top of it. You don't want to let it go too long though because you will end up with butter. But you do want this a little firmer than you would if you were just using it to put on a plate immediately, because you want it to hold up. So you're going to grab yourself a deep pan or casserole for assembly. I love hotel pans for this because they have lids that fit them really nicely. You can get those at kitchen supply stores. But you want your pan, your pudding, your vanilla wafers, your whipped cream, and your bananas. Then you're just going to put a thin layer of that pudding on the very bottom and spread it out. This is your base layer. And it's not going to completely cover it, but it's just going to give those vanilla wafers something to soak into. And then you're going to lay out a layer of those vanilla wafers. And get them evenly spaced out. And then we're going to add on another layer of pudding and gently spread that out so that you don't move your vanilla wafers too much. And now we are going to add a layer of bananas. And I'm just using a butter knife to slice this. And you're just going to slice your bananas and lay them out evenly on top of your pudding. And then you're going to spread the rest of your pudding out over top of those bananas. We're going to add another layer of your vanilla wafers. And you can layer this out pretty much any way that you'd like to, but this is the way that I like it because I love the vanilla wafers kind of soaked up. Then you're just going to spread your whipped cream out over top of your vanilla wafers, and those are going to get all soaked up. And then right before serving, you can add another little ring of your vanilla wafers and bananas over top. But this is what your end product looks like. And this is a crowd stopper at any of your events, but it's super easy to make. It stores really well and will be absolutely incredible for holidays or for whatever gathering that you have. Thank you so much for joining us. This is just a reminder that we do have our 2 membership levels that we would love to have you join. We have our 20 quart and 5 quart level. And those just give you a little bit of early access to our videos, and we'll be doing live streams for those once we get a few more members. Thank you for watching this week, and don't forget to let us know in the comments if you decide to try the recipes. Like the video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We will see you next week.